a lot of people, I know a lot of people that they'll sell one and it'll go very easy and they'll get good money for the horse and they're like, oh, this is really easy. And then they do a couple and then they're like, oh, this is still really easy. And then they get the next one, they either can't sell it or for whatever reason it goes wrong. Then they start to realize it's not easy. No. Selling horses is very hard because a lot of time you're selling to amateur riders, which is your main bulk of your industry. Yeah. And as lovely as some of them are, there are a lot of them that are very difficult to deal with. Not necessarily make your life hard, but, you have to work very, very hard to make them happy. And that's fine. I don't mind doing that. But for a lot of people, they want the quick buzz and the quick money. And those days are great. Like I've had weeks where we sold 3 horses and no one had them vetted. And it was unbelievable. And they were really expensive horses. And it's just pot luck, and then you have a month where not a single horse goes through a vet check, so it's really, really tough. You can never live on that money's going to be there or that money's going to be there, because it's just until that money is in the bank, it's not there. Yeah,
absolutely. I think that's the thing with, there's so many things that people like to check with horses, like you mentioned vettings, and there's so many points that something can go wrong.
Yeah, so I think I don't actually know anything other than buying a house that I would ever know that you'd go and buy something and have so many checks done on something. I think, people say moving house is stressful. I think it's as stressful buying a horse, because you go through so much highs and lows of, I found the perfect horse, then it fails the vet, then you have to go and look for another one, and then that fails the vet, or its x-rays aren't right, or something like that. And and at the end of the day, it's so tough now. Many years ago, you never had the x-rays, so it was just that you bought the horse, and that was a lot easier. But now a lot of people are buying x-rays rather than buying the horse, and that becomes another discussion. It's
So really, not only are you managing expectations, which is fascinating, you've got the expectations of not just the buyer, but you've got an owner as well who expects a certain amount of money.
Yeah, and we have, we can't always achieve some goals that the owners want for the horses, i.e. they want a certain amount of money, or, they want the horse sold in a certain amount of time. Not everything happens perfectly, and you cannot make everybody happy, and it's very difficult when you have an owner who's very adamant on the money that they want for the horse, and maybe the horse isn't worth that money, or at that time that horse isn't a fashionable horse. Fashions come and go, and 3 months down the line the horse might become fashionable again. So it's difficult to manage. My job is I have to manage both sides. I have to manage the buyer's expectations and the owner's expectations, and you are basically piggy in the middle.
Yes.
And having to, whilst my main objective is making sure my owners are prioritized, you also want to not let the buyer down, because you want to give them a good experience of buying a horse. It should be fun, it should be exciting, they should be happy, they should want to do it. And then when that is not easy to manage at the same time, when you've also got to manage your owner, it's tricky sometimes.
Yeah.